We all want to be the leader who brings order out of chaos. Apollo 13 shows us just how to do that.
Houston, we have a problem. We have a main bus B undervolt. We've got a lot of thruster activity here, Houston. It just went offline. Oh, there's another master alarm, Houston.
I'm checking the quad.
Christ, that was no repress valve.
Maybe it's in quad
We've
C.
got a computer restart.
I'm gonna reconfigure the RCS.
We've got a
Where
ping
these
light.
things fire doesn't make any sense.
We've got multiple caution and warning, Houston. We've got to reset and restart.
Jim Lovell is saying what he is seeing. He's talking directly about the problems that he's facing, and there's communication in that cockpit between the other astronauts saying, I'm moving to this here, I'm turning this on. It is that level of communication in the midst of chaos, clear and direct, that is helping them to get through this crisis.
Econ, what's your data telling you?
There, when Gene Kranz, the lead flight director, asks, what's your status telling you? That type of open-ended question is important in crisis. He's not telling Ecom what to do. Oh, I think it should be this. He's saying, what is your data telling you? Even though Gene is the flight director, he doesn't know everything. He's relying on his team in this crisis to tell him what is going on so he can help direct the team to save the lives of these astronauts.
Flight GNC? Flight, they're all over the place. They keep going close to gimbal lock.
I keep losing radio signal. Flight, their antenna must be flipped.
22. They're gonna have to do it manually if they do.
One at a time, people. One at a time. One at a time. Ecom, is this an instrumentation problem, or are we looking at real power loss?
All of the people are coming to Gene, asking him questions, making statements. As a good leader, he cuts through the chaos and says, whoa, one at a time here. He needs to have a clear line of sight to the real problem so that he can lead the team. And so that's why he comes back to Ecom and says, what's the status here? Let's get that under control. Is this an instrumentation problem? Is this an actual system failure that's going on? Once we know that, then we'll be able to determine next steps forward. But he brings that clarity in the midst of chaos.
Shit, it's main bus A.
Main bus A undervolt?
Houston, we have a main bus A undervolt down too. It's reading 25.5.
Hear all of the specific details that they're giving. This is what's going down. I just got another warning light that has come up. They are giving all of the detailed information so that Houston can have a full picture of what they're experiencing and what the crisis is developing into.
Houston, you're in the mud. Did you say switch to Omni Bravo?
In a crisis, communication is huge. And so any time that there is an assumption made or lack of clarity, it can mean utter disaster. And so what they're doing here is they are confirming. I didn't quite hear that. Can you repeat that? That is what is needed. And here's the big challenge. When you're in a crisis, when there's chaos all around, the temptation is to move fast and to just go to the next thing. What needs to happen for good leadership is to actually slow down a bit so that you have clarity on the situation, you have clear communication with your team, and you can execute in an effective way. And that is what is happening all across the board here, from the astronauts that are in Apollo 13 to the Houston Mission Control.
Houston, we are venting something out into space.
I can see it outside of window 1 right now. It's definitely a gas of some sort.
It's got to be the oxygen.
Roger, Odyssey, we copy your venting.
Give me an alarm.
Okay, let's everybody think
into 4 levels check.
Okay, now let's start right back on the beginning.
it looks abnormal on your system.
Is that a Madrid 4 hours?
Okay, listen up. Quiet down, people. Quiet down. Quiet down. Let's stay cool, people. Procedures, I need another computer up in the RTCC. I want everybody to alert your support teams. Wake up anybody you need, get them in here. Let's work the problem, people. Let's not make things worse by guessing.
That is excellent leadership in chaos. They finally realized that Apollo 13 is leaking a gas, most likely the oxygen. These men might have a matter of hours before they run out of oxygen, and everyone snaps into action. It is literally a life and death matter. But what Gene does here as the lead director of flight control is he calms everyone down. He says, quiet down, let's stay cool. Let's not make the problem worse by guessing. It is that ability to slow down in the midst of chaos that makes him such a great leader. We're not going to guess, we're not going to assume, we're going to take time to clarify, make sure we know what we need to be addressing.
Can we review our status here, Si? Let's look at this thing from a standpoint of status. What have we got on the spacecraft that's good?
Gene wants to know the full spectrum. He wants to have a clear picture on what is actually working. He can't lead the team until he has that clear picture, and so just asking what's actually working on the craft. Let's start from there, and then we'll see what we can do.
Flight.
Yeah, go we come.
Flight, I recommend we shut down the reactant valves of the fuel cells.
What the hell good is that gonna do?
If that's where the leak is, we can isolate it. We can isolate it there, and we can save what's left in the tanks, and we can run on the good cell.
You close them, you can't open them again. You can't land on the moon with one healthy fuel cell.
Gene, the Odyssey is dying. From my chair here, this is the last option.
Yeah. Okay, Si. Capcom, let's have them close the reactant valves.
What Gene just did there is incredible. Think of the space program at this time, everything that was riding on this moon landing, and Gene is about to pull the plug on the whole operation. And the reason that he did that is because he trusted his team. When ECOM said, this is what we need to do, we need to shut down the react valve, Gene knew that that meant scrubbing the whole mission. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't try to correct ECOM and say, oh, you don't know what you're doing, we need to go ahead and push through with this. He presented the consequences to say, if you shut down the react valve, you can't fire them up again, we can't land on the moon like this. And ECOM says, from my chair, this is our last option. And Gene trusts his team. It is that foundation of trust that made this mission so successful. The second thing that happens is that Gene takes responsibility for it. He's the one that has to make the call. He doesn't throw anybody under the bus. He doesn't shift blame, but he says, okay, shut down the react valves. We're gonna see that he re-emphasizes that he is the one that is making the decision. The buck stops with him.
13, this is Houston. We want you to close react valves on cells 1 and 3. Do you copy?
Are you saying you want the whole smash? Closing down the react valves for fuel cells shutdown? Shutting down the fuel cells. Did I hear you right?
Yeah, they heard me right.
Hear what he said? They heard me right. He doesn't put that responsibility on anyone else. He says, I'm the one who's in charge here, and so that responsibility falls on me.
Tell them we think that's the only way they can stop the leak.
Yeah, Jim,
We think that closing the react valves may stop the leak.
Did he copy that?
do you copy, Jim?
Yes, Houston, we copy.
Understanding the full weight of gravity of what has happened, Gene is taking all of that responsibility on him, and Jim Lovell and the rest of the crew there recognize the gravity of the situation. They ask for confirmation, spell it out very clearly. Is this what you want done? In the midst of that crisis, having that clear communication is part of what made a disastrous mission so successful in returning these astronauts alive. When you are in crisis, the temptation is going to be to speed up, to go fast. You need to do the opposite. You need to take a breath, slow down just a notch so that you can assess the situation, communicate clearly, over-communicate, eliminate any assumptions so that everyone on the team has a clear picture of the crisis and a clear path going forward. Everyone knows their responsibility and you can move forward successfully as a team. That is a mark of a great leader, and that is what we see here in Apollo 13. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you have a movie or TV character that you would like me to analyze their leadership, drop that in the comments below and I'll check that out. And until next time, take care.